USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Monday. Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. What's happening?
Good morning. How was everybody's weekend? How was your weekend, Jess?
My weekend was amazing. My husband and I enjoyed the weekend with my daughter. My son is back at home in Maryland with his grandmother. But we went to this event on Saturday. It was like a diary of, actually, this is merch that I'm wearing from the event. It was like an intimate reflection on the life of Loren Hill.
Okay.
Right? And we covered everything.
It was in Jersey or New York?
It was in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn,
right?
okay.
And it was at one of these nice studios. And it was like segments. We had trivia on her. Mm-hmm. And when I say a deep reflection, I mean like it went through like her insecurities and how things was affecting her behind the music, from one relationship to the other. And then when she had her son, and then how, her with the Fugees, her time solo. And it was just amazing. And it was an intimate event. It was like 25 to 30 people. Dope. My daughter's godfather, Menelik, he's Ethiopian. He's cool as hell, man. He has these events all the time. And it's like kind of like a find your tribe thing. They had complimentary wine, and then they had non-alcoholic wine for people who didn't drink. It was just like a really nice time. We got deep and stuff, and it was dope.
All right.
So that's cool.
That's what snapped my fingers for you.
It was a finger snapping event.
Okay, all right.
Yes, lit.
All right. Well, salute to that. Now, Charlamagne, you had your Black Effect podcast festival.
Man, yes, we did. I was all over this weekend. I was in my daughter had cheerleading competition too, so I had to fly from there to go to Atlanta for the Black Effect Podcast Festival. But Drop on the Clues Bombs for the 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival. Man, I mean, every year is just such an incredible event. Everybody who's who loves the podcast culture, whether you just love to watch podcasts to be entertained by them, or you want to, be in the podcast business, it's just a great weekend of networking and, information being, dispersed to everybody. So, man, salute to everyone who pulled up this year. Cam Newton was there. He interviewed Portia Williams for his Funky Friday podcast. The new senior pastor of Potter House, Sarah Jakes Roberts, she was there. She interviewed Toya Carter, so her and Reginae was there. Who else was there?
I saw Jacquees.
Jacquees was there. He was with Tank and Jay Valentine for the R&B Money podcast. It was just a lot of people who pulled up, man. Tyrese pulled up. I ain't seen Trinidad James in a long time. He pulled up.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and there's just so many dope ass podcasts who came out. Salute to the No Homo podcast. They were walking around with a big sign that said Charlamagne loves studs.
That's who that was, yo.
Yes,
that was so funny.
That was hilarious.
I loved it. You better have took that too. You gotta hang that up in your house.
You know what? I didn't take it.
That's
but
dope.
I kicked it with them. I kicked it with
That's what's up.
Boss Brit and DJ XL for a minute. So salute to them. But it was just a fantastic event. Thank you to everybody that came to the 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival, and we'll see you next year.
All right.
Well.
And salute to all the dance dads out there. My daughters had a competition all weekend from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. yesterday.
Yo, you purposely telling us the times?
Absolutely.
To justify why you
It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It is too damn long.
I know.
And it's like 30-minute breaks, 45-minute breaks in between, hour breaks in between, so it's not enough to get a nap. You just got to sit in it. Just sit in it.
Envy is so irritated. Yo, I came in here with all the energy, because I had an off weekend, so I was very, very happy. I'm in here dancing and all that, the Glorilla. He come here like, sit down. What is wrong with you? I'm like, damn, Dad, what's up? What's wrong?
I done seen all dancing all weekend. I done seen it all this weekend. Had a good time. They both won first place. I was very happy. First in their division, first in the region. So I was super duper happy. So I think we got one more, and then it's a wrap.
Okay.
The dance season is over.
Good. And then we get nice envy back. That's what's up.
Then we got soccer season, but we'll talk about that one later. All right. Well, let's get the show cracking. We got front page news. Morgan is back. We'll kick it with her when we come back. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Usually they have the sports in front of me, not this morning, so I know that the Timberwolves beat the Lakers last night, 116-113. Timberwolves lead the series 3-1. The Celtics beat the Magic.
It's a wrap for them Lakers. Just need y'all to know that, okay? What y'all knew LeBron James and Luka Doncic wasn't going, they can't win things by themselves. It's just them two. Other than that, that's not a deep team at all.
Yeah, the Pistons lost to the Knicks last night, 94-93. So the Knicks, of course, lead the series 3-1, and the Celtics lead the series 3-1. They beat the Magic 107-98. All right, what we got, Morgan? Welcome back.
Thank you. Well, first, let me just say thanks to Bree and Mimi for holding it down, and let's get into it. Yeah, first up on the front page, Congress is back in session today, y'all, on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., after a 2-week recess. So yesterday on Sunday, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York, he is a Democrat, and Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, they spent some time on the steps of the U.S. Capitol doing a live stream. They called it a sit-down protest and discussion on what House Minority Leader Jeffries claims is the dangerous situation we confront in America. Now, they spoke about the impact of the forthcoming GOP spending bill. Let's take a listen to House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' comments.
This is a time to choose, and we're either going to choose the side of the American people, or we're going to choose this cruel budget that Republicans are trying to jam down the throats of the American people that would effectively take away health care potentially for tens of millions of Americans, children and seniors and families and people with disabilities and veterans and others, take away food from the mouths of children, undermine, the ability of people to survive who've worked hard their entire lives, all in service of a massive tax cut for their billionaire donors.
So Senator Booker, he talked about the GOP spending bill as well. In fact, in a post on X, he said congressional Republicans are preparing to gut Medicaid and essential services to give the ultra wealthy a tax cut. He was also on the steps yesterday of the U.S. Capitol. Let's take a listen to his comments.
We believe presents one of the greatest moral threats to our country that we've seen in terms of what it will do to providing food for the hungry, care for the elderly, services for the disabled, health care for the sick, and more.
And also, happy belated birthday to Cory Booker. He spent his birthday doing that. So, speaking of marking occasions, President Trump prepares to mark 100 days back in office this week, which is set to come tomorrow on Tuesday, April 29th. Now, this all comes as recent national polls indicate the president is not having the sweeping support that he may think he has. NBC News Stay Tuned poll found 55% of Americans disapprove of how Trump is handling the presidency, while 45% approve. On immigration, one of his strongest issues during the 2024 election, the poll found that just over half disapprove of his policies, while only 49% approve. Meanwhile, the economy proved to be his weakest issue. Only 39% are satisfied with his economic agenda, while 61% are voicing their opposition. And overall, 60% of those surveyed believe the U.S. is on the wrong track, while 40% say it's on the right one. And when it comes to tariffs, a national poll shows that nearly 2/3 of Americans disapprove of President Trump's tariffs. A new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows that 7 in 10 think the tariffs will increase U.S. inflation. Nearly half of Republicans polled think the tariffs will have a negative impact on inflation. But there are also some Republicans who believe that it could create manufacturing jobs and bring those back to the U.S. So that includes 90% of Republicans and 60% of independents.
It's funny when people talk about those manufacturing jobs because, number one, it takes quite a few years, several years to even build a factory. But then when you think about what the country is going to look like in 5 to 10 years, most of those manufacturing jobs are going to be AI anyway.
Absolutely. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there at all. But that pretty much wraps up the 6 a.m.
I want to say one other thing, too, Morgan. When you look at the low approval ratings of Trump and you look at the low approval ratings of Democrats, it just lets you know a lot of Americans are just fed up with it all. Like the country needs something different. Period.
Overhaul, complete. You know what? You're not wrong in saying that. You're not wrong in saying it. I think you're definitely on the right track when you're saying that. Yeah, everybody seems to be fed up.
People just fed up with it all.
Yeah, and it really starts with the pockets. That's where it really boils down to. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep y'all posted on what's going on at 7 a.m. We're gonna talk about Shador though. We got to get into what happened with Shador Sanders. He finally got selected by Cleveland, but we'll get into the drama a little bit.
All right, and everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is James calling from North Carolina.
James from North Carolina. What up? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking over the weekend about this whole Shannon Sharp incident, and I was thinking about the double standard in it. Not the part about the assault or whatever, but I mean, as far as him being the age that he is and how young the lady is. I just, if you flip the roles, man, I guarantee it wouldn't be such a big deal. I mean, look at that movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back. The women were celebrating that mess, man. This woman was 40 years old, dating a 20-year-old guy. And then on top of that, you got like Cher was dating some dude that was like 40 years her junior. I ain't hear too much about that. You know what I mean?
When you have to do all those mental gymnastics and hypotheticals, to prove why somebody should be doing what they're doing, they probably shouldn't be doing it.
Like I said, it's not against the law, but I think it's totally wrong. I don't think it's ethically right, morally right. I mean, you could have said Juice, with Q. He was dating his teacher, but...
That's a movie.
I know, but he named movies, though. But those are movies. But I don't think it's right. Even with Belichick. Belichick is 70-something years old, and he met that girl at 21. I don't think it's right. You know what I mean? But
he not right.
Okay, but what about that old story about that teacher that was messing with her student and ended up getting pregnant by him and all that? Y'all remember that story? That woman got multiple chances to get right before they sent her to jail.
I'm not even having this conversation. It's so much nuance with this conversation. I think that y'all are not factoring in so many different things that are part of this situation and why Shannon is.
Well, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, Charlamagne. Don't get me wrong, man. I agree with you and Envy with the whole age thing. I got a daughter that's 20 years old, man. I couldn't date a person that much younger than me. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's the double standard there.
It's not even just the age thing, though. It's the audio phone call and him saying he was going to choke the girl out. Whether or not that was role playing or not, I don't know. It's the text messages. Like, it's a lot of things that factor into this situation. It's not just as simple as he's 56, she was 19.
But I totally get what you're saying too, sir. Like on the other side, because even when the gays do it, I'd be like, what? Like, because when the old studs be dating the young girls, I'd be like, what you want with her? Because my sister is 21, and what if a 60-year-old stud came up to her? I would kill her. You know what I mean?
And you're talking about a 56-year-old man who had so much to lose. like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, because you have to know who you are.
Right.
You got to know what you stand to lose in this situation. He just put himself in a bad situation to be 56 years old.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray!
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live? Hello, who's this?
Oh, man, finally. Peace and blessings, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
Sean Stone, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Jess Hilarious.
Hey.
Also, DJ Envy.
Yeah, what's up?
Also, Charlamagne the guy.
P. Sean Stone.
Oh, it sounds like you didn't even want to say nothing a while ago, brother.
You need to stop being so insecure.
Oh, God.
I'm not insecure, brother.
All I said was P. Sean Stone.
But what up, Sean?
Hey, but DJ Envy, last week you brought up my name.
Yeah.
I was just driving in my truck, doing my sanitation job, and I heard my name being brought up with Trav.
Yeah, Travis's studio caught on fire, and he was asking for people to donate, and I was like, it would be a big deal if Sean Stone said, you know what, I'm gonna put my differences aside and donate to his engineer.
But you know what's so crazy, Jess? I don't have a problem with Trav. I did donate that.
See, you
I donated $10 that same day.
I told you he's a good dude. I told you Sean's a good dude.
Yeah, and so if Trav don't believe, you could go to the guy page, you know what I mean, on the GoFundMe, and you will see Sean Stone's name right there that I donated $10. You know what I mean?
That's dope. I think y'all should use this to put your issues aside and just continue on.
Envy.
What?
Envy. I don't have a problem with Trav. He's the one that have a problem with me. He's the one that don't like me for no reason.
He
You know what I
don't
mean?
like
So-
me. He don't
I
like
know,
me. He don't like me. He don't like me. You should turn that into a
That's
record.
stupid. Oh my goodness. And also, I just want to shout out Mel Brooks, the white lady that was on the show recently.
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins. My bad. I love her outlook on life, man. I would love to talk to her one day because I'm one of the guys that have 2 YouTube subscribers, and she's telling me keep going. You know what I mean?
You only got 2. How long have you only had 2 subscribers?
Yeah.
I've been there for like a year now, Envy.
I don't know who's talking to you. I don't know if Mel's talking
But
to you.
listen,
Hey Mel, I mean,
just like how-
Sean, you know Mel got another theory called the know when to quit theory. I don't know if you heard that.
no,
She
shut
got the
up.
let them. No,
Shut
she
up,
do. She got
Coach.
the let them theory, but she got the know when to quit theory too.
Listen. Just like how I'm a giver, I would love for people to go support my YouTube channel. It's Sean Stone TV, SeanStone TV, and hopefully one day I can interview Jess Hilarious.
Yes, hopefully one day you will.
Yeah, Jess, congratulations on your marriage too, man.
Thank you, Sean.
So you
I
did
know
get
you're trying
married,
to keep
Jess?
it quiet.
What you say?
You did get married. People
I know
keep
you're
saying
trying
that.
to keep it quiet.
Yeah, so thank you for catching on, Sean. I appreciate that.
Yeah, nah, for real. It could have been me, Jess. So, you know what I mean? It could have been me. You met outside the bodega.
But you
know what I
already
mean?
married though, ain't you?
No, he just
No,
got
I'm
2
not.
kids.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
you,
No, I'm not.
okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm not married yet.
I see that. in your
Eventually, I
future.
will get married, though.
Yes, I see that in your future. Very cool.
But I love that for you and Chris, though.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully, your baby Marley and my baby could be best friends because my girl just turned 1 year old on April 15th.
Aw.
So shout out to baby Paris. And just check your DM because I send baby Paris to your DM, okay?
Okay,
You shouldn't
thank
be
you
DMing
so
married
much.
women.
What?
Oh, my God.
Goodbye, Sean.
Have a blessed day, Charlamagne.
No, you should not be DMing married women, especially if you were the one who wanted to marry them.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
now. It says that you were in Orlando. You gave Jess Hilarious a massage and you smelt something.
Damn.
You
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And I don't know why that man lied.
I was going to say.
Jess,
Yo, you
don't
should've
play,
seen Jess.
don't play with Jess like that. Don't even play with Jess like
No,
that.
I
Jess,
didn't say that. I was calling to tell Jess thank you so much for the opportunity. And she's a woman of her word, and I appreciate the shout out.
This Gia.
Yes,
Hey,
Yes,
Gia.
girl.
I mean, thank you, girl.
Hey, girl.
You see how these niggas up here be playing?
You should have seen
Yeah,
Jess.
they play too much. They play too much. And yeah, Charlotte, let me check you too because you need to let Taylor go to Kendrick Lamar show. Get her them 2 tickets.
No, Taylor pregnant.
Yeah.
Period.
Taylor,
So,
she was
like
waddling.
she said, she's gonna be in the suite. She
Nope.
ain't gonna be with around nobody but you and your security.
Nope, she was waddling around Atlanta this weekend, looking like she ain't had no business being there. Nope.
That's a weekend. That's one night.
I
Just
don't
a couple
know.
hours. She
I
gonna
think about
go.
it.
He gonna have it in there.
Like,
He
come
bluffing.
on now. She worked hard. She deserved that.
Yeah.
She definitely do. They only want to give her a week maternity leave. Can you believe that?
They need to give her a month.
That's
Oh, my.
No, they give us like 3 months.
At least a month.
I was just
At
going,
least a
Jen.
month.
This is
Let's
crazy.
give
3
her
months.
At least a month. She needs at least 6 months, but give her at least a month.
She
now.
got 3 months. They gave her 3 months for maternity leave.
But no,
Okay,
I love
that's
you,
good.
Gia.
That's
I
good.
appreciate you, baby.
I love you too, and thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're a woman of your word, and I really thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good one now.
Y'all
Right.
too have
Tell
a
them
good
about your massage place where people could get you. if
No,
they need-
I'm a slap.
Okay,
you,
yes.
you make her don't even want to
The
talk
Gia,
about it now.
Yeah, because y'all done messed up talking about I said the lady stank and she wasn't stank. Okay, yeah, I am the Gia Ali Experience, Tampa, Florida, mobile massage therapist. Yes, I am the best. Y'all look me up. The THE Gia Ali JEYAHALI, and y'all should know how to spell experience.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know. She said that one too long.
Y'all look
need
me
to know how to
up.
spell
Y'all
it.
look me up. I'm mobile. I got Mother's Day specials going on, so y'all come look me up. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram.
Have a good one, mama.
If you don't know, you
All
don't
right,
play
y'all
with
have a
no.
good one, too.
You don't play with no woman when it comes to no smells.
Hey yo,
I was joking.
Hey yo, but the massage is like it's very necessary. Like I think she used to work in like physical therapy because like she She made me feel like I was taller. Like she stretch you out when she do your like she got the hot stone treatment. She uses like eucalyptus, put something like that you can smell the scents, like everything. And she traveled from Tampa to come to Orlando because she couldn't catch me when I was in Tampa. So she definitely mobile.
Dope.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. We got the latest with Loren coming up.
We do. TD Jakes is stepping back as senior pastor from his church after his medical scare a couple months ago. So we're going to get into all of that.
And you cut your
Love
hair.
you, Bishop.
Yes, I
Love
cut
you,
my
Bishop.
hair for the festival.
What's that one called?
Yes.
I don't even know.
I want to call it the Saraji.
Oh.
Remember Saraji used to come out slaying the
With the
bobs?
bobs?
Yeah,
Yes.
her and Tasha Smith. But yeah, I love that.
This was inspired by the festival.
Okay. All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Laura.
Lauren becoming a straight fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the
somebody
details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
I'm sorry.
Damn, you and Morgan.
God,
What the hell is
damn.
going on?
No, I swallowed something the wrong way. Like,
Okay.
right?
Pause.
Like,
That's all.
I don't have to pause that.
Great weekend in Atlanta. All right, let's go.
You want
Period.
somebody to be getting so big.
You was
I know.
surrounded by. She was surrounded by studs. Them studs was on low.
I bet.
Oh my God, they were
Good,
giving me
too.
motivational advice. We took pictures with the sign. It
You
was
look
like a
real
hug.
good. So you had on that little pantsuit with the crop top.
Yes.
Strong black
Look
woman.
good.
Yeah.
Look, hey, one of the studs walked up to her and said, "Lo, you ate that," and I was like, "Oh." I didn't know what they were talking about.
Liar. Well, wow, this is a crazy segue. TD Jakes is stepping down as senior pastor at the Potter's House Church in Dallas. He announced it this past Sunday at during one of his services. Let's take a listen.
I've seen too many men build something and stay so long that they kill what they build. What you gotta understand is it's not so important that you just know when to grab a hold. It's knowing when to let go. What you didn't know from November forward, they've been running the church anyway. They're not meant to replace me because nobody can.
What the hell is going on?
But if they step into this position, they may extend me.
Y'all just played 3 clips back to back with no context.
Yeah, so the second one was TD Jakes after he announced that his daughter, Sarah Jake Roberts, and Pastor Torrey Roberts would be taking over the church. He just had the church welcome them, and he explained that, what we heard him say. And go ahead, Charlamagne. I know you had something to say.
I was just gonna say I love Bishop TD Jakes. That man has helped me get through so much just listening to his sermons over the years, reading his books, and being able to develop a personal relationship with him. I love that man, and I want to thank Bishop TD Jakes for all his service. Drop on the clues bombs for Bishop TD Jakes.
Yeah, and he talked about the scare that he had in November as well. And for those of you guys who don't remember, back in November he was preaching, and while he was preaching, he went down on stage. At the time, they just said it was a medical emergency. We didn't really know what happened, but then TD Jakes came out and said that it was actually a massive heart attack. He had no idea because he didn't have the typical symptoms of going into a heart attack. He just felt like he was going to sleep, and a doctor had told him that 5 minutes later he would have been dead on arrival to the hospital. So it was a serious heart attack. So and he also said that he's taking some time to go out and do some more things in the community. So
But I also want to say, when I tell you Bishop TD Jakes is passing the torch to more than capable individuals. Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, they both was at the Black Effect Podcast Festival this past weekend, and I told Torrey, I said, brother, you and Pastor Sarah are on divine assignment, because the impact that they have on people, especially young people, is incredible. Every young person around me at the festival wanted to meet them. One of my young mentees, Marcus Scott, another young mentee, Nyla McPherson. When I tell you these people love Pastor Sarah and Pastor Torrey, so Sarah and Torrey have the ability to bring a whole new flock of people to the church. So salute to Bishop Jakes and Pastor Sarah and Pastor Torrey. I call them the first family of faith. I love those individuals.
That's amazing.
And I got to meet them too, thanks to Charlamagne. I was like, no, it's too much, because everybody was going crazy over them, and I was like, I don't want to meet them, it's too much. But I used to go to their church in LA. years ago, and a lot of people, if you've been in LA and lived there for a while, one church was like the church that like you go, it helps you get through your experience because it's tough when you're moving and you're transitioning. So I got to tell them that, and as I was talking, I felt myself getting a little emotional. I'm like, why am I? But they really do symbolize like a time in like your life in LA when you're trying to figure things out, and you go to their church trying to, and they give you that. So
people were in tears meeting Pastor Sarah this weekend at the Black Effect Podcast Festival. And I know Sarah don't need me too because she's divinely protected, but I'll flip tables for Sarah Jakes Roberts. You hear me?
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, we wrapping up now, so I'll come back to the next hour with the next one. Yeah.
All right, look, real quick though, yo. So I went to get my nails done in Jersey City.
I like them too. They short.
Thank you. Just giving them a little something, right? And what I noticed was talking to the Asian woman who was doing my nails, like the tariffs directly, just to see it in real time, how it affects everybody is crazy because she was saying like her inventory, like she's running out of stuff, and because there are tariffs on China, she don't know when it's coming. She don't know when. Yeah, and like to buy, she can buy the same stuff in America, but it's so much money. It's expensive here, and so she's like, I'm damned if I try to get anything from China, and I'm damn shopping for my products in America, so I may not have my shop too much longer. This is my bread and butter. I've been doing this for 45 years. She's been doing it 45 years. An older lady named Mimi in Jersey City. So, like, just to see how it affects people in real time. I mean, I know it's real, but to hear her testimony, just tell me that while she's doing my nails, and I'm like, damn,
I didn't even think about nails.
Yeah,
that's interesting because she could like triple her prices, right? But then what about all the other nail salons around her? Are they going to do that? They probably going to have to
but
too.
The thing is,
I'm sure they're all dealing with the same thing. So now your regular nail job going to cost probably 3 times as much as it used to.
Yes, and nail techs cost more than the shops. You know what I mean? But they're more creative and they're more convenient because they can come to you and stuff. But she's like, she don't want to increase her prices because she's been there for 45 years.
Have to.
And she got like clients that been coming to her, who done had kids, generations and generations. Like she got families that come to her, so she don't want to.
They have to do like a tariff tax on it. Yeah,
they
from
the $25 pedicure, $25 manicure days. I love them type of nail techs.
And she is so heartbroken over that, yo.
Wow.
So
All right.
Horrible.
Just wanted to share that.
All right. Well, that was the latest with Loren. When we come back, we got front page news, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. New York Knicks beat the Pistons 94-93. They lead the series 3-1. I know Detroit's mad about that one, but they were physical the whole game. So how you going to not make a call at the last play when they were physical the whole game? So great missed call. Minnesota Timberwolves beat the LA Lakers 116-113. Minnesota leads 3-1. Celtics beat the Orlando Magic. Boston leads the series 3-1, and the Pacers beat the Bucks. They lead the series 3-1 as well. What's up, Morgan?
Yeah, let's continue conversing. Excuse me. Hello, Monday, about sports. Okay, the wait is over for Shedeur Sanders. I know we was all watching to see when he would go be drafted, right? So as you mentioned on Friday, he did end up in Cleveland, but it was not in the second round. Instead, it was the 5th round, y'all. Shedeur is the son of Hall of Famer and Colorado head coach Deion Primetime Sanders. The former Colorado quarterback was drafted 5th. In the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns. Sanders, who many thought would go in the 1st round. Of course, again, as I mentioned, you guys thought the 2nd round, but he slid all the way down to the 166th pick overall. So let's take a listen to what he had to say following his selection after that was made. Let's hear from Shedeur Sanders.
Things happen. Sometimes it's adversity. We got to change it, though. We got to do different. We got to do different. We can't control the uncontrollable. You can't control that. So you just got to remain positive, stay happy at all times, and know God got you. I knew the whole time God had me. So I wasn't really panicking because I understood it's about perfect timing.
Man, drop on the clues bombs for Shedeur Sanders, man.
Absolutely.
Everything happens the way God wants it to happen, and that's what I love the most about the way Shedeur handled that situation all weekend. He laughed. We never saw him get frustrated. He didn't have no sense of entitlement. He didn't blame nobody. He just simply kept giving God the glory, and I love that. That showed me everything I needed to know about his character and his attitude. The fact that he was just like, yo, whatever God got planned is going to happen. Like, he never let his faith waver, and I love that about Shedeur Sanders, man. Salute to him.
But there was a lot of, speculation as to why it happened the way it happened. But to your point, and to his point, God's timing, nobody can control that, period.
And I will say this. If Shador goes to the NFL and he sucks, all that collusion talk is out the window. If he goes to the NFL and he's not good, then he proved all those teams who passed on him correct. So let's pray he proves them wrong.
That's right.
All right, so meanwhile, the son of Atlanta Falcons head coach is admitting to the childish prank. Jack Olbridge, he apologized for prank calling Shador Sanders during day 2 of the draft. Now defensive coordinator Ben Olbrich's son impersonated New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis and told the Colorado quarterback that he was going to take him with the next pick. And then Sanders ended up falling to the Browns in round 5. So.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. The one I heard was the one where he told him, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I didn't hear the one that he said, I'm going to pick you next.
It was only one call, so maybe he said it on both calls. I heard he said he had.
Yeah, I only heard the one part where he said, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. By the way, giving him donkey of the day today, but that was hilarious. Come on now.
I think he did it to somebody else, too. That's not funny. He should get his ass whooped, though. It was
what
funny.
You mean? That was fun. That was hilarious. Cut it out.
That ain't funny when you sitting there waiting to get your name called.
But that's why it's funny.
That's terrible. The question is, what type of punishment can that child or even the person person's defensive coordinator, like what kind of punishment? How y'all gonna handle that?
And that's why I'm giving him donkey of the day, because in that moment he didn't care about what his daddy's profession was. Like you got to care about you got to care about what your daddy does, because you bring in negative attention and light to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. Also, switching gears, a Louisiana judge says a 2-year-old U.S. citizen has been deported with no due process. On Friday, a toddler was sent to Honduras with her mother, who had been deported. Now, it is important to note that the mother does not have legal status in the United States. So Judge Terry Daughtry, who was appointed by President Trump, ordered a hearing to be held next month on the issue. Now, he says the hearing is in the interest of dispelling our strong suspicion that the government just deported a U.S. citizen with no meaningful process. So it's also being reported that 3 children, and as I mentioned, the 2-year-old, have allegedly been deported to Honduras illegally. The 2-year-old, as I mentioned before, and then there's a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old with another mother. Now, that mother also did not have legal status, and the 4-year-old is actually being treated for cancer. So that's absolutely horrible that that would happen in the midst of treatment. Now, on CNN State of the Union, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer slammed President Trump following those allegations, saying the administration is violating the rule of law, and Americans are not happy about it. Let's take a listen to Senator Schumer.
This is not the only instance. There are reportedly other instances where U.S. citizen children were deported without any due process. Due process is a hallmark of what our country is all about, rule of law, and ICE and Trump seem to break it in every single way. Right now, President Trump is violating rule of law in every way, and we're fighting him every single day.
So, Schumer was also asked about the possibility of impeaching Trump, but he said it's too soon to decide, also noting that, the Dems do not control the Senate or the House, so that would not be,
and what's an impeachment going to do?
Right, exactly.
This will be his 3rd time getting impeached. What's that going to do? But you know what, Morgan? I did not know until you said it about the 2-year-old. I mean, I knew about the 2-year-old getting deported, but all the news reports just kept saying that a 2-year-old got deported. I didn't know that the mother had got deported because she wasn't a citizen. I mean, I didn't know that.
That's going to be a big thing. This is probably going to be one of those, what do you call the first case, the precedent case, and what's going to probably be a long-standing situation for a lot of migrants. So it's something to watch. And if I can, I know we're probably running out of time, but random story I thought that was very, very interesting. A new data from LendingTree shows a growing number of Americans are using credit now to buy groceries. A survey of 2,000 consumers ages 18 to 79 found that 50% reported using credit to help cover the cost of food. About 25% of those surveyed said they use buy now, pay later loans for groceries. Now, groceries. I mean, we know about, big electronics, things like that, or, other things like furniture, whatever. I ain't got a couch just, paying on stuff like that.
I've been using credit for groceries, though, just instead of using liquid cash, for my business or whatever. So, I mean, that's been using cash. But that's crazy to buy now, pay later. That's crazy to have to do that to eat, or to
financing. Absolutely. Yeah, I think using credit on groceries is, fine if you find that to be feasible for you in terms of, like any of the kickbacks you may get for your credit cards or stuff like that, rewards. I might swipe, the the travel card for, you want to get the rewards back and stuff like that. But, like you're saying, buy now, pay later is definitely a sign of the times, essentially.
Crazy.
So, yeah. But that's your front page news, y'all. Y'all following me on social at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, make sure you are following at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Morgan. Now, when we come back, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Jess just broke down her experience at a nail shop this weekend, where the owner said that, she might have to close because she can't get products. She has to raise the prices. Things are too expensive. So the question is, how are tariffs affecting you? 800-585-1051. Are you a business owner or you're a regular consumer? How is it affecting you? Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. We're asking, how have the tariffs affected you? Now, this conversation comes from Jess was getting her nails done over the weekend. And tell the people what happened, Jess.
Yeah, so I was getting my nails done in Jersey City. Nice little nail salon. And the lady who was doing my nails, she is the owner, and she's been doing nails for over 40 years. And she was saying that the tariffs are affecting her faster than she thought they would, because she's running out of inventory and she orders her stuff, but she don't know when it's coming. It's high as hell. And, even when they do pay, it's not even only the price gouging, like the price increase. It takes a long time to get here. So she was saying, like, she don't know how long she's going to be open, how much longer she'll be open, because she doesn't want to increase her prices, and that's going to make her lose clientele. She had 20-year, 30-year clients, and she don't want to. She's going to have to, but she says she don't want to. She was so devastated, and it was nobody in there. It was nobody. It was a nice big shop, but I had to get my nails short with the overlay, because she didn't have any tips. Y'all know I like my nails long. She didn't have any tips. She didn't have a lot of colors. She had ran out of stuff.
Wow.
So she did what she could on my nails. I still supported her.
Well, they're saying that some of the major things that are growing up that affect everybody is, first and foremost, clothing. They said the largest American retailers source apparel from China and Asian countries. So footwear and clothing are going to shoot up. They also said toys. So they said almost 80% of the toys sold in the U.S. are imported from China. So that's going to be going up as well. They said seafood is going to be going up because of the tariffs.
Excuse me?
Yes, seafood.
And Shein hiked their prices, their U.S. prices, as much as 377% ahead of tariff increases. And that's the sad part about a lot of this stuff, man. Like, how many of these corporations are going to hike their prices just because they're greedy and they can blame the price hike on tariffs?
And Charlamagne, something that probably affects you, nuts.
He eat nuts?
Nuts are going up.
I love honey roasted cashews.
They're saying
a lot.
with the tariffs, they're saying a 46% tariff on Vietnam will definitely hurt people that are heavily into nuts. So I know
nuts come from Vietnamese. Come from Vietnam.
Yeah, they said it comes from nuts, and also Brazil and Vietnam, where we get a lot of our nuts from.
You know where gay comes from? It comes from Queens. That's why it's called Queens. That's why that's why that Envy is a queen from Queens. And next hour is our next topic. Was there a time you thought you were gay? We're going to talk about that.
Oh my God, I love that.
What are you talking about?
So Envy, get ready to tell your story. Because if you don't, I will.
There's no tariffs on gay, sir. But coffee and rice and wine and spirits, they're saying are going to be affected as well.
Damn, what do we have in America? This also lets you know how heavily we depend on other countries as well. God damn, we can't get our own nuts. We ain't got no American nuts.
That's because, and it's just my personal opinion, America focuses too much on celebrity. I really do. I feel like America's obsession with celebrity is what led to a celebrity being in the White House, and that's the type of things that people focus on. Like, what actual skills do we teach people in this country?
Exactly.
No, you're right, and we have to get back to the trades, like you said. We have to make sure that we it's not just. I know I love college. I graduated from Hampton University. Salute to all my 4-year schools, but also, like you said, we got to get back to welding, HVAC, electrical, automotive. We have to get back to those trade schools. We have to. Salute to Lincoln Tech, by the way, but we got to get back to those trade schools.
Salute to Jordan the welder. Jordan the welder was at the Black Effect Podcast Festival this weekend, man. You know we love Jordan. Jordan is a young woman who, speaking of trade, she's a welder.
That's right.
That's right. And she and Jordan ain't. I ain't gonna say she. You know, everybody need a little bit extra cash, but she ain't hurting for no money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning, DJ NV. How you doing? My name is Kamar.
What's up, Kamar? Talk to us. How are the tariffs affecting you, brother?
Oh man, it's been affecting me and my family business. You know, we're not getting a lot of customers. Secondly, I teach welding at a trade school.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the budgeting and stuff is being allocated for different stuff. Our material are not good because we're buying cheaper materials for students. So it's not been good for us.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually pushing things aside. Like if they were going to do something for their house or do something extra, they're just waiting now. They're holding on to the money because they don't know when that money is going to be needed, when it's not going to be coming in no more. So if people want to do things, they just got to hold off for a little bit, which is, I'm sure, affecting you guys a lot.
No, absolutely. I used to teach at a school that you're familiar with, Lincoln Tech.
That's my school. Salute to Lincoln Tech.
Yeah, man. We're up there in Mawa, and I know it's been rough, getting material and stuff because of the tariffs. But yeah.
Yeah, so, well, salute to Lincoln Tech again. Actually, my cars are at the Mawa campus, but salute to Lincoln Tech.
I remember, man. Yeah, you were throwing out about 2 old school cars. I think a Chevy, 70s Chevy.
67 Corvette and a 67 Pontiac GTO. They both there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They're great, man. They're nice.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Have a good one. Hello, who's this?
Hey, DJ Indy, my name's Kayla. How you doing?
Hey, Kayla. Good morning. How has the tariffs affected you?
They whooping my ass with my already because I tried to order a specialty made wig from United because United has a Brooklyn location, but if it's pre-made, of course it's like regular. But I tried to order like a specialty made one that was like chocolate brown and it was like real long, like 32 inches, and they tried to add $55 on top of regular taxes on top of that.
You know what's crazy? Loren is in here with a short wig this morning too for the exact same reason.
No, she is not. She
Jess
cut
had to get short in there.
Jess
had to get short in there. Loren had to get shorter wigs. That's crazy.
What they tell you that Jess was in the back actually cutting Loren's wig because it's so expensive. We got to Jess got to do a couple jobs now.
I hate this school so bad. Cannot wait to transfer.
You know what?
What you mean?
Let me tell you something. The way I'm about to just order these regular ass wigs out of Brooklyn, I'm gonna have to leave for on my way.
Damn.
What does a regular ass wig out of Brooklyn look like?
The wig that's sitting next to you every morning.
Damn.
Pretty much. You ate that, Jess. Serious.
Thank you, boy.
I ain't gonna let y'all talk about Loren Wig like that. Now, enough's enough. Don't
that is not Loren Wig. That's Charlamagne Wig.
We talking about Charlamagne Wig, the one he had on like the other week.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was from Loren people.
That was from the store in Brooklyn, sweetie. Chill.
You know what else though? I love having these conversations.
Thank you, Caleb.
Salute to Kayla. I love having these conversations because we live in an era where nobody wants to show their struggle. Like social media has everybody wanting to look rich, so you never gonna really know how real it is out here in these streets unless people tell you.
Right. Well, 800-585-1051. We're asking, how are the tariffs affecting you? Let's discuss. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're talking about how are the tariffs affecting you. Now, this conversation comes from Jess. She was out and about getting her nails done, and you spoke to one of the nail shop owners, and what did she tell you?
She was saying that her inventory is so low because she doesn't know when her stuff is going to be delivered. Not only is it high, like it's increased in price, but it takes long to get her inventory. She's been waiting for I think a month for her stuff. So she ran out of nail polishes, nail files, and things for pedicures. she can only do, like, she really couldn't even give me a damn pedicure. Well, she couldn't complete the service. I wanted my nails done and my toes done, but she didn't have certain things, and she just didn't want to be a disservice. She didn't want to do a disservice, so she was like, I'm sorry. I understand if you don't want to get your nails done. I said, I will, just to support you, but she didn't have tips for her nails. She ran out of acrylic, and it's just really, really sad because she was damn near in tears in there.
Let me ask you a question.
She's not even going to be able to afford to give you a hookup for shouting her out this morning. Next time you go.
It's okay. It is totally okay. I gave her a big tip. I just, basically like a nice donation, but I don't even know if that will help her because that ain't going to make her stuff come.
I was going to ask you, speaking to other comedians, I know your shows are sold out, but are other comedians having a hard time selling out shows because people don't want to go out anymore?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of DJs have been hitting me and saying that their clubs are not packed, that it's hard for them to get jobs because people are not going out. They're not spending that extra money at the club buying drinks and things like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely affects the tour season for sure. And then, not for nothing, everybody is on tour now. I've never seen so many people on tour at once. You got from artists to comedians to everything, and then it's a lot of festivals and DJs. I mean, like car shows. It's a whole lot of like a host of events going on, and people got to figure out, okay, this ticket is $35.
That's right.
All right, if I could do this, then I won't be able to go to this show, and so it is definitely a lot. Even in my own experience with me selling out shows, it takes longer to sell them out.
Yeah.
I sell them out, but it just takes so much longer. I remember I used to sell out shows making one video about where I'm going to be, and that just do numbers and it be sold out before I get there. But now it sells out right before, or it still be a couple tickets away from being sold out.
Can your brother say something real quick? I just want to say something. I just want to say something to all the DJs and all the comedians who, nobody's coming to their shows. Wasn't nobody coming to your shows before these damn tariffs. Cut it out, okay?
No, that's not true.
Oh my God.
Cut it out. Stop.
Somebody sell out a little festival and now you coming at the comedian?
No, I'm just saying, some of y'all wasn't getting no sold out shows before these tariffs. Now, I know it's a good excuse to use, but cut it out.
You know what? You right, yo. You right. Because I can name a few. No, I ain't going to be that bad.
See, what's wrong with y'all?
You know your ass ain't been selling. But yeah, period.
Hello, who's this? Y'all so foul.
Hey man, this is Boone from the 843.
Hey,
843, what's happening?
I'm doing great this morning, doing great. On 526 headed to the port, trying to take these boxes turned in for the day.
Oh, you're a longshoreman?
Tariff, don't destroy us. No, I'm a longshoreman. I pull containers, man.
Okay.
So how the tariffs affecting you?
Man, it's killing us down here, man. We was doing easily 30 boxes a week. Now it's down to maybe 4 boxes. And right now the board is showing empty, no more work. I guess I'm going home.
Wow.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yep.
Thank you for calling, my
brother. Nothing going on right here, man. Like it used to be, because like 2 months ago, we was getting like 2,000 boxes a day.
Hey, I need y'all to know elections have consequences. Okay, we just approaching the first 100 days, and look how people talking.
So that also affects the employees at the ports.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if ain't nothing coming in, they ain't got nothing.
No jobs.
Man.
Yeah, and these companies gonna have to start laying people off.
Wow.
Crazy, man.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Ashley.
Hey, Ashley. Good morning. How have the tariffs affected you, Mama?
So I work in healthcare. I work with children. I'm a provider, and it's affecting medical devices and getting these to children, because now the prices are just going to go up. And then that's going to be put on the families. Things like when children are born, they have abnormal hearts, devices to where that device is the heart, or things with their brain to help stop.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
It's going to help, affect them.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Sorry for that.
Is caring for children. I
Even
know
some of my
that.
patients too. Yeah, even some of my patients too. I live in Texas, so some parents even drop their kids off and leave because they're worried something may happen, but they still want their children to be taken care of.
We should not live in a country where people have to, where people can't afford to live. I know we listen to what I'm saying. We say afford to live. I'm talking about those people she's talking about, literally life and death.
Right.
Because of their health situation. They can't afford to live.
Yeah, but it's crazy because it affects it all the way around. Like I know somebody who, I always talk about when I get my physical, and all my friends, I tell them like, yo, you need to get your physical. You need to get your physical. He was like, yo, I can't. And I'm like, why? He was like, because the cost of everything is so far up. He was like, I can't even afford to pay my copay when I go. He was like,
Damn.
I gotta, he was like, so I gotta wait a little bit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, how much is the copay? Because he can't afford it. He has to do all these odd jobs to make sure he can put food on the table. And he said everything is shot up in price.
That's right. And, Envy also started a little side business where he's giving people prostate exams. You know what I mean? And a lot of his homeboys.
You give prostate exams?
And Envy's doing it.
And you're not certified?
I'm not even certified.
Only did it to Charlamagne.
You ain't never gave me one. But
I
a
only
lot
did
of
it to Charlamagne.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what he's been telling all those friends that can't afford physicals. Let me give you a little quick prostate check. So,
because I know what to do.
Yo, shut up. Yo, what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is, man, pray. That's all I can tell you.
But all jokes aside, like what you said, I know you weren't joking about praying, but what you said, every election has its consequences. That's
right.
Literally the moral of the story.
That's right.
It's crazy, man.
That's right. All of this is directly due to the actions of President Donald Trump. And this ain't even no partisan thing I'm talking about. If you are an American, you will be affected by the things that he's done. So, you got to give him the credit. Because when things go wrong, he gets the credit. When things go right, he gonna get the credit. So right now things are going very wrong.
That's right. All right. Well, when we come back, we have the latest with Loren. Now, Loren, what we talking about?
Yes, we do. So I know we talked about Shador Sanders earlier this morning, but did y'all see the video going viral of him and Shenseea from the draft day? They're saying it might be a little thing.
Oh, that's my grad.
We're going to talk about it.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Again, I just want to salute to all the dance studios, especially all the black dance studios. A lot of times when I'm in these, the dance competitions, we don't see too many black dance studios. So when I see them, I just like to recognize them. There's one in Brooklyn, one in Union, New Jersey. I don't know the names. I wrote the names down, but I forgot it at home. But I just wanted to salute them. They know who they are. I'm sure they're listening. But they do a terrific, amazing job doing what they do and bringing the actual culture on that stage. Because a lot of times when you see the girls dancing on that stage, it's what they think the culture is. But when you have those black dance studios, they are indulged in the culture where it was one was called Island Gals out in Union, New Jersey. They killed it. Had maybe about 20-30 girls aging from 6 to I would say 15, and them girls are killing it. All types of dances, and they're doing ballet, they're doing tap, and they're doing hip hop. So I just want to say salute to all the dance studios out there. Y'all put a lot of effort and time, and I appreciate it.
That's like a whole life.
Yeah, it is.
Lifestyle.
It is. It is.
Jess, you said you heard Coco Jones' album Why Not More this weekend, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I did.
Because I saw you say that in the group chat. You were saying it was dope.
It really was. That and Key Glock's album. Key Glock's whole album did not drop yet, but he got 3 songs that he put out, and it is lit. I like all of them. It's No Sweat, 3 a.m. in Tokyo, and The Grinch. He dropped those 3 tracks.
Yeah, those are
crazy. But yeah, Why Not More? I listened to Coco Jones' whole project, man, and she's offering like what she's giving on the album.
It's dope.
I ain't heard it from her before, so yeah. Not saying that not discrediting her earlier music, but this is a different Coco and is more mature and sultry, and it's something that you can do your makeup to. All the girls, this is like she got some anthems.
Well, dropping the clues bombs for Coco Jones because over the weekend I saw people talking about how and I was saying how Def Jam didn't send the album.
Yeah.
Just make sure you go stream her album. You know what I mean? Like if the people that were upset about Def Jam not sending us the album, make sure you go support her Why Not More project.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was going up for her over the weekend on X.
But you're not going up if you don't go support the album.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
All
them
comments
tweets
and hashtags.
No, but it was reviews of that. It was reviews of people who had listened to it.
You got to go support her album. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Coco deserves that.
Yeah. You heard the album, Charlamagne?
No, I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet.
Now it's out. You need to listen.
Crazy.
You saw the weekend I had. I was in Orlando for my daughter's cheerleading competition. I'm in Atlanta for the Black Effect Podcast Festival. I had a lot going on this weekend. I ain't listening to no. You want to know the one song I listened to over and over this weekend? Regina Bell, God is Good. I listened to Regina Bell, God is Good for 2 hours on Saturday morning as I was just sitting in my hotel getting ready for the Black Effect Podcast.
Most people don't know.
Regina Bell.
And most people don't know. I usually listen to to the projects on my way to work.
Got you. Yeah,
Because
in
you
the car.
got to drive where, you know, there's nobody bothering us. So that's why we ask for the albums early so we can listen to it on the way to work and dive into it.
How was the host? Did Weezy do good?
Weezy and Mandy did fantastic.
Love Weezy. I know she ate it up there. I
Dropping
love
the
the
clues
host.
bombs for decisions.
Yes.
They did a fantastic job at the Black Effect Podcast Festival this past Saturday.
I mean,
salute to my
duh.
guy Louis V. He was providing the soundtrack. You know, it was a great event.
I met somebody at the podcast festival who actually went to the Lean On Me school, y'all. And he came up to me. Yes, he came up to me. He said, when we do all that in here, if we gonna do the Joe Clark stuff, we gotta stand on one leg when we sing the song because that's what Joe Clark used to make them do.
That.
Yes,
really?
and he wanted me. Yes, he literally wanted me to tell
school's
you
in
that.
Jersey, right by you.
I
So
have no
that
idea.
was based off a real
School
story,
in
like a
Jersey,
real
yes.
school.
Yes, not you don't know your own
Wow.
reference.
I did not even know. It's just my favorite Morgan Freeman movie of all time. I didn't
Joe
know
Clark
that.
is a real person. Yes, all that happened.
He said, if y'all gonna do it justice.
Do it right.
'cause He used to make us stand on one leg and sing that song so that we understood whatever we were getting in trouble for.
Damn, that makes the movie even more impactful for me now. I did not know that. That's what's up.
Yeah, I think it's based off a school in Patterson, New Jersey. I believe.
And it's New Jersey.
Yeah,
Did
right
not
there.
know that.
All right. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Lauren becoming a straight fact.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Okay, y'all. So over the weekend when Shador was celebrating his draft weekend, even before he was drafted, so this was after the first round and he did not get drafted, he had already had celebrations set up, right? So they celebrating, and there's video that surfaced after this of Symantha, who is a Jamaican artist, at the celebration. She's sitting on the couch next to Shador. They're talking. There's no like physical interaction, like no PDA or anything like that. But they are. You're looking like, why is she there? Like it was a random, and that's a private celebration, as we know, right? So people started having a conversation about whether they were dating or not, and people, felt like for him not to get drafted that first night in front of Symantha because of how gorgeous she is and how fine she is, it's like they're like, yo, it's gonna make him go even harder, right? Just making jokes or whatever. So that was like a big thing. Then they started having a conversation about her age and his age because she's 28. And he's 23. So then they started debating about if she's too old to be with him and blah, blah, blah. So I reached out to a source close to Symantha because I wanted to know, number one, are they even dating before we get into this conversation of age or whatever. I am told that they are not dating. What I'm told is that he had a bunch of different girls come in for the celebration weekend, just to kind of, I wouldn't even say promo, but just to be a part of like the vibes and stuff of the weekend. Symantha's role, actually, she was a lead girl. That first night, if he would have been drafted, she was supposed to hand him that hat off of the shelves of hats that he had for the school that the team that selected him. He didn't get drafted. She ended up staying for the weekend because she had already planned to be there for the weekend because it was supposed to be a whole celebration for the remainder of the weekend. They met that day. That draft day, the first day, was the first time that they had ever met. Now, whether Sparks and flew or not, when she, met him in person, I have no idea. But that I know of, at that time, they were not dating. That was their first time even meeting each other. She was just sitting on the couch in the celebration. So, boom, there's that. Jess, I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Because you always building me up to break me down. That would have been nice. I love Symantha.
I do, too. I think
whoever
she's
has her is a lucky guy. Whoever gets that chance, lucky guy.
Well, speaking of other lucky guys, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2025.
I like this. I like this.
Yeah, those that dropped the information of all the who's going to be in the 2025 class, and Outkast is on the list.
Well deserved.
Long overdue.
Well deserved.
This is the immortal Outkast. Dropping the clues bombs for Andre 3000 and Big Boy. Come on, man. The greatest hip hop group of all time. It's debatable to me between Outkast and Wu-Tang, but most people definitely have Outkast, number one on their list. Very well deserving. Like they should be in every. There's not a musical Hall of Fame that Outkast shouldn't be in.
That's right.
Yes.
Go ahead. And Outkast not the only ones.
No, there's a full list. So you also have Soundgarden, Cindy Lauper.
We're talking about Salt and Pepper.
I'm getting there. It's a full list.
No, she want to do Soundgarden, the White Stripes.
That's right. We don't care about that.
Salt and
the clues
pepper.
bomb for Salt and Pepper.
Yes, seasonings. I love them.
The great now.
No, I'm sorry.
It's Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper is by far the greatest female rap group of all time, right?
Absolutely.
Hold on,
Hands
Jess.
down.
Okay.
You knew he was talking about the group, right?
Yes, I always call them the seasonings.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I thought you really thought that like
hell no. You know I know salt and pepper. Don't do me like that.
Lauren, don't even talk about seasonings when you went to all the unseasoned stuff before you jumped to salt and pepper.
I was trying to go down the dang list. Y'all didn't even let me.
You went from Outcast to all the unseasoned. To Soundgarden. Your story should have been Outcast, salt and pepper. Then we could have got to everything else.
You could at least did Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker got nominated?
Yes.
How you do Soundgarden before a Chubby Checker?
Continue the list. Go ahead.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper, Chubby Checker, and Outkast.
Well, congratulations to them.
Yes.
And for those of you guys who do not know, in order to be eligible for nomination, artists have to be at least 25 years out from the release of their first commercial recording. Inductees are awarded through 4 categories: performers whose music and cultural impact have changed the course of rock and roll, influential musicians whose innovative styles have propelled cultural change, and music excellence, which is an award designated for like writers, producers, and different musicians.
Now, what's the over under on Andre 3000 showing up? Like that should be what draft picks and what's all them other draft kings and prize picks. Yes. What's the over under on Andre 3000 even showing?
I think
he's going to show up for this.
I think he'll show up for this.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. We don't know that. That's Andre 3000. He moved to the beat of his own flute. We do not know if Andre 3000 is going to show up. The beat of his own
flute is crazy.
And I would, because he plays the flute. But I wouldn't even be mad if you said Cyndi Lauper. Why you went to
I didn't.
we didn't even know.
I did say Cyndi Lauper. You didn't. You missed
you said Soundgarden.
And then I said Cyndi Lauper. You were just so upset that I said Soundgarden. You know what I mean?
That you said that before Salt and Pepper. Yes.
I really want to know if Andre 3000 going to show up.
He going to show up.
I think so.
Y'all say that like that's just a given. Andre do not be beat. But he's in discreet shenanigans.
Nah, he gonna show up.
I don't know.
Salt and Pepper will actually be receiving the Musical Influence Award during the induction ceremony.
Very well deserved.
Absolutely.
Man. You talking about 2 people who are first ballot Hall of Fame music anything, and if they're not, they should be.
That's right.
Yes, and that award ceremony will go down November 8th at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles.
Well, speaking of unseasoned, happy birthday to Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba got seasoning, girl. Hurts. Goya. What you talking about? Sazon.
My bad. All right, so half seasoning.
All right.
Jessica Alba got a lot of seasoning. Drop
because it's the light one and not the red one.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You missed it. It was the skin complexion that got you.
Jessica is good people. She actually one of yours. She Mexican.
She's not one of mine. Don't try to. I don't own them people. She's not one of mine. Don't do that.
Your husband Mexican.
Yes,
and your baby is half Mexican. What you talking about?
I did not know. So Jessica Alba is Hispanic?
Yes, she's Mexican.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
shout out to Jessica Alba, man.
Yo, Jessica.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Jess.
All right. Yes. Jessica, good people. She is.
That's
Jessica Alba's good people.
Charlamagne, who you giving your donkey to, man?
Before after the hour, we need Jax Albridge to come to the front of the congregation. We would like to have a word with him, please.
Alba didn't sound Spanish to you, Latino to you?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
I didn't know that either.
You didn't know Jessica?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know she was. I didn't know what she was.
When you think of Hispanic, you think of Riviera, Martinez, Lopez, Armando, like whatever.
Of black, what you think of?
Jackson, Johnson,
Washington.
I don't know what the hell a McKelvey is. Where your last name come from?
Irish.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Donkey today. Who you giving that donkey to, man?
I already told you.
We'll do it next. It's the Breakfast Club.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Donkey up the day.
Made it.
Damn, the hee-haw again.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
I ain't trying to be donkey today no more.
They should be embarrassed by what they already did. I'm not making these people do these things.
Called Donkey of the Day, and it really caught me off guard.
Damn, Charlamagne, who got the donkey of the day today?
Well, Jess Hilarious, donkey of the day for Monday, April 28th goes to Jax Albridge. Who is Jax Albridge? Well, he's the son of Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Albridge. Now, over the weekend, he did something that was absolutely hilarious. Okay, stupid, which is why he's getting donkey of the day, but hilarious nonetheless. See, we all watched Shedeur Sanders slide in the 2025 NFL draft. He was eventually drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round, dropping the clues bombs for Shedeur Sanders. Sidebar, I love the way Shedeur handled the whole situation. All he kept doing the whole time he wasn't getting drafted was give all glory to God. He kept saying this is God's plan, and he accepted whatever was happening in his life at that moment. I love that. Drop on the clues bombs for Shedeur once again. But Jax took it upon himself to pretend to be an NFL general manager and prank call Shedeur Sanders doing this whole thing. Let's listen.
Hello. This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
What does that mean? How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone? You heard that?
He said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
First of all, hilarious. Okay, very, very well played. You got to give it to him. What a way to meet the moment with a joke. If I had access to Shedeur's personal number or whatever number he was using on draft day, my mind might have went to doing something like that too at that age. Jack Olbrich is 21. But the reason I'm giving Jax the credit he deserves for being stupid is because of who his father is. His father is Jeff Olbrich, defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, as I speak, the NFL is reviewing Jeff's role in the Shedeur Sanders prank call. The Falcons said they won't be taking any action against Jeff, but the NFL said they have been in contact with the Falcons and they are reviewing the matter, and this is the issue. See, Jax, you didn't take into consideration how this could impact your daddy because of who he is, and that is something we all need to remember when we do things. Who around me will this impact? Who around me will this affect? Okay, Jax, if you was just some 21-year-old kid who prank called Shedeur, I'd be like, whatever. But your daddy is in the NFL. Okay, he's defensive coordinator for the Falcons. Now, we know where you got the number from. Okay, I'm not saying daddy gave it to you, but you clearly have been privy to some inside information, and that's exactly what happened. Jax unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number, which he found in an open iPad while visiting his parents' home. Now you done made things hot for your daddy for no damn reason. You know how the internet works, okay? Or maybe you don't. So let me explain. Jax, you're white. Okay, Caucasian. There is a narrative, and the narrative is people already think that white people, owners, executives, coaches in the NFL are colluding against Shedeur to humble him and his father, Deion Sanders, because they don't like confident, secure black men. That's the narrative. So when the son of a defensive coordinator in the NFL pranks Shedeur like that, and you hear Shedeur say nobody has this number, it puts fire on the flames of all the conspiracy theorists, because you like, oh, they really playing with Shedeur. The son of an NFL defensive coordinator prank called Shedeur. Everybody with a tinfoil Pooh Shiesty mask who thought this was a conspiracy, you can't tell them nothing after this. You confirmed their suspicions, Jax, and you made it hot for your daddy for no damn reason. Now, Jax did apologize on Instagram. Let's go to NBC 11 Alive News for the report, please.
I'm sure you saw the shocking video over the weekend of Shedeur Sanders being prank called. The callers posing as the Saints general manager, leading Shedeur to believe that he was being drafted by the Saints. Well, it turns out one of the kids involved is the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Olbrich. The Falcons confirming today that Jax Olbrich came across the contact information on his father's unlocked iPad. Jeff Olbrich did not know about any of this until the prank call came to light. The Falcons have apologized to Shedeur and his family. The Falcons went on to say, we have also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries we may receive from the NFL League office. We are thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating if necessary to help prevent an incident like this from happening again. Now, Jax actually released an apology on Instagram this afternoon. He says he called Shedeur on Sunday to apologize. Jax also says what he did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. He says he's sorry he took away from Shedeur's moment and that it was selfish and childish.
Yes, make sure you apologize to your daddy, too, for embarrassing his last name. And let the record show, they did prank call a couple of other players, but nobody cared about them because Shedeur was the main attraction for the whole draft. All right, the NFL needs to send the Sanders family an edible arrangement or something, because I can't remember the last time folks talked about the NFL draft this much, especially after the first round. But the moral of the story is this. You have to understand how your actions affect others. We always think about how someone is impacted personally, but when you do things, think about how it will impact others, especially those you claim to love. Please give Jax Olbrich the biggest hee-haw. Matter of fact, let Chelsea Handler give Jax Albridge the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Yes, indeed.
Now, when we come back, we have the CEO, founder, and host of the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur. He'll be joining us when we come back. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Loren is here as well. We got a special guest in the building, the CEO and founder and host of Young Turks, Cenk Uygur. How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Blessed, black, and highly favored, man. You got this initiative that you're launching, that you're trying to recruit Democrats who lean into left-wing populism.
You got that right.
What does that look like?
So that looks like some of what Trump promised. Hey, I'm going to deliver for the average guy, and I hate the establishment, etc. But of course, he was full of crap, and he didn't mean it. And so we said on the Young Turks, this brother's all he's going to do is do tax cuts for the rich, right? So that's what he did, and that's what he wants: $5.5 trillion in tax cuts for corporations, etc. So what we're saying is, how about we actually deliver for the average guy? Higher wages, lower drug prices, paid family leave so you can get a little bit of time off when you have a kid, money out of politics, end the wars, and lower housing prices. But in order to do that, you got to take on big drug companies. You got to take on private equity that's buying our residential homes and driving up the prices. And so the reason that the Democrats haven't done it in the past is because they're too wedded to the donor class. Absolutely. And so we're saying, let's bring the Democratic Party back to what it was. So what it was serving the average guy: Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all these, by the way, super popular programs. So let's go back to passing bills, delivering for people, and let's get the Democratic Party back and kick Trump's ass.
You know, okay, Lauren.
I was going to say, what you're talking about is economic populism.
Yeah.
But how realistic is that? Because people always say this stuff, and then even when they get in a position, there's so much you got to fight through, so many different tiers of like the House and, the people that don't agree. So how realistic is it? And what does that timeline look like? Because when you're saying it, I'm not going to say it in my time here. It's going to be generations.
Yeah, Lauren, I love that question, okay, because you're right. That's exactly the question everybody should ask, okay? Because Democrats get in and then they never do it, right? And so I get super frustrated. First thing they took out of the bill, the COVID relief bill under Biden, was $15 minimum wage. Now, if you do $15 minimum wage, you not only raise people's wages to the tune of about $92 billion, right? That goes from the richest people in the country, the people who need it the most, who are working, right? But you also raise the wages above that. And then whenever you go to do that, they go, oh, no, you can't do that because that'll drive up inflation. No, inflation's already here. I need my wages to go up to keep up with it, right? So why don't we ever pass any of those things? Because of the donor class. So look, if you're a Democrat, I hate to break it to you, right? So if you're a Republican, I got terrible news for you, okay? But if you're a Democrat, I got bad news, which is that Biden and all those guys, they never meant it. That's why they took $15 minimum wage right out of the bill. So why are we different? No corporate donors. No candidate is allowed to take corporate PAC money if they're with Rebellion PAC. And so far, we got Roques, the first guy who said no corporate PAC money at all. And he's awesome. And he's the one that worked with Bernie to get $15 minimum wage at Amazon. And when they first started that, they're like, oh, you're not going to be able to pressure Amazon. You don't have any power. What are you guys going to do? You progressives, you're always rabble-rousing. And guess what? They got $15 minimum wage at Amazon, right? So Rose's been delivering throughout. Now we got Richard Ojeda running in North Carolina 9. That brother almost beat somebody in West Virginia when he was down 50, when that's a R plus 54. But when we get in, Lauren, if we don't deliver, like here, I'll put the first one up on the board, paid family leave. So that's 12 weeks off for moms after they have a baby.
I have had to use that.
Yeah.
No, I have a baby, but my mom was sick, so I had to use paid family leave.
Yeah, but you know that 85% of Americans don't have paid family leave?
I don't know what I would have did without it.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy not to have it. You got to go back to work the next day, or you got to burn all your vacation time, all your sick time. It's so unfair. So that polls at 84%. What that means is the Democrats and Republicans are full of crap. If you can't pass something that's at 84%, you're not trying. Okay, so what we're going to do if we win is we're going to try, and we're going to try like hell, and we're going to take out whoever is in our path, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. So if they want to come cry about it, no problem. We're populists. We're ready to kick their ass. So it's not like, oh, yeah, like the old days. I'll go, we'll be so kind to our colleagues. Our colleagues are so precious. No, your colleagues aren't that precious. They're the ones who killed all these bills. So I demand accountability for our candidates. I'll do the accountability. If they throw any of these bills under the bus, then we're going to kick them out of the group. But they're not going to because they're great guys. And we got another guy coming on May 1st, too.
I think everything that you're saying is great. I just feel like it's 4 years too late. And what I mean by that is we're talking as if we're in normal times, as if the midterms are just going to come and we're just going to go vote and, put the people in, or 2028 is just going to come and we're just going to go vote. They're already telling us what they're planning to do. They want Trump to run for a third term. I don't think these normal ways of doing things are going to be able to combat what is currently in the White House. And I don't think we understand that yet because it's just talk.
Yeah.
When they actually do the things that they say that they're doing, that's when everybody's going to realize, like, oh, wait, so we don't have free and fair elections no more?
Yeah. So, Charlamagne, a couple of layers to that, right? So, first off, we're the only ones, as far as I can see, that's actually got a plan, right? So, and I encourage everybody else, if you don't like our plan, great. If you're a Democrat, come up with a different plan, right? And then plant your flag like we're doing and say, hey, I'm for this or I'm for that. And we're saying we're for economic policies and we're going to win back Congress. So step one in beating Trump and also taking over the Democratic Party is you got to win these elections.
If they're free and fair elections.
Right. So now, Charlamagne, to the point you're making, so why were you and I opposed to Trump? We were opposed to him because we were worried that he was going to do authoritarian crap like this.
That's
right. Why did you and I worry about Joe Biden? Not because we hate Joe Biden, but because we were worried he was going to lose to Trump.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And unfortunately, we were right about all of that, right? So, okay, now what's the next step? So I've gone on every kind of show. So I'm here on Breakfast Club, but I've gone on, Patrick Bet-David and Tim Pool and David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen. So every left, right, everything in between, right? Breaking points, etc. Right? So what I see from the right in that is some of them are hardcore MAGA guys. And if Trump says end the Constitution, they'll light it on fire. But half of them are just bros. And they're like, wait, why are we burning the Constitution? I thought we were in favor of the Constitution. So you're beginning to see that. When I first said that, people were like, oh, get out of here. There's no way. Every Trump voter is a racist, fascist, etc. But wait, and then all of a sudden Trump burns up the stock market and Dave Portnoy, who supported Trump, is out there going, what the hell? I just lost $20 million. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this. And I don't blame him. I don't have the $20 million to lose, but I know I'd be mad. Okay, so that's financial. You go to Rogan, and Rogan's like, wait. What are we getting rid of due process for? Why are we locking people up without even bringing them to a court? What part of that is America? And it isn't America, right?
You got Candace Owens talking about them taking away freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and look, you're seeing on behalf of Israel, they're snatching up people off the streets. And so it doesn't get any more cancel culture than I'm going to arrest you with mass men. I'm going to deport you. That's canceling your life, right? And so they cancel their diplomas, etc. So I see all that. But my point to you, Charlamagne, is that you'd be surprised at how many other people see that. So he came in at around 50%, which is as high as he's ever been. Boom, last poll out, he's down to 40. Opposes 59%. He's already in a 19-point hole, and he's going south. So if he goes to cancel elections, for example, I wouldn't put anything past him, right? But at that point, it's not just going to be us on the left, and it's not just going to be minorities. It's going to be people like Rogan and others who go, no. We signed up for lower prices. We signed up for closing the border. We signed up for some of the things you or I might agree with or disagree with, but we didn't sign up for this.
But then what happens when he starts locking up the media?
Yeah. So look, here's your bellwether, okay? He locks me up, we're in a lot of trouble. Okay? But here I am on the front lines. I oppose him 100%. I'm doing a democratic movement to make sure he loses in Congress. I'm Muslim. I'm a huge critic of Israel, and I'm a naturalized citizen, okay? So if anyone's on the front line, I'm at the very, very front of that line. And I'm saying, come get me. So I'm okay with it.
Don't say that. Don't give him a reason. Don't say that.
No, my point is, though, guys, if we all panic, we're not going to get anything done.
I agree with that.
Okay, so let's all stay calm. Let's do a plan. Here I am with a plan to actually take power away from him in 2026. If you got a better plan, I'm all ears. But what I can't have is no plan.
All right, we got more with Cenk, Uygur. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Loren LaRosa is here as well. We're still kicking it with Cenk, Uygur. Loren?
So if all goes well and everybody that you want in gets in, y'all are able to start moving and doing all these things, there's going to be times where y'all going to have to disappoint people because everything can't happen the way they need to. How do they handle that? Because I think that's another thing that happens with Democrats. They make it seem like they're never going to disappoint, and then they do, and then they don't know how to come back from it. You said that right now, Trump, his messaging and everything was good, but he is doing horrible when it comes to the tariffs. He's blowing it, is what you said.
Yeah.
He is sticking to his ground on, like, this is what we need to do. We might lose some people in the midst of it, but it'll make for better, according to him, later. Y'all might have to do that, too. then what happens? Because people will say you guys are blowing it at that point.
Yeah. So first off, Trump isn't really sticking to what he said. He said global tariffs for everyone. Like, we're at ridiculous comical levels. And we're like, what the... I don't mind tariffs. Like, you could protect certain industries with tariffs, right? And rebuild manufacturing. So it's not crazy to do some tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he announced, I'm going to do like these unbelievable, never heard of before tariffs all across the world, we're all like, what are you doing? That's crazy, right? So then he took that back. And then he had the 145% tariffs on China. And we're like, you know what iPhones are going to cost if you do that? Then he took that back. So now he's down to still stupid tariffs on China because they're so gigantic that they're not productive, right? Now flip it back on us, right? So what happens? Number one, if we do something wrong, just like Roques, he's like, hey, listen, we fight for what's right. If it turns out we weren't right, then you bring it back. So there's no shame in saying, hey, we tried our best. We tried this, and you guys said you didn't love it, so then we're going to next. So why do we pick like those 6 bills, right? Anti-war, money out of politics, etc. Because those are super popular. They're all above 2/3. So if our guys get into Congress in 2026, what we're going to say is, not just Republicans, but Democrats too, why are you all preventing a bill that's at 84%? Why are you all such radicals that you're in the 16%? So because mainstream media will say, paid family leave, that is a radical progressive idea. Oh, no, nobody can pass that. The filibuster, the parliamentarian, right? Yeah, I'm like, no. 16% is radical. 84% is not radical. This whole country wants it. 74% of Republicans want it. Over 90% of Democrats want it. Over 80% of the independents want it. Now, if we can't pass something, we're at an impasse. Why? Because the corporate donors are going to come in. They're going to buy the mansions and the cinemas. Even if they're out, there's going to be new mansions and cinemas, etc. What are we going to do? We're going to start calling people out. So that's what you've never seen in politics.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Especially on the Democratic side. No, Trump did it.
Yeah, that's right.
Trump would do it.
And that's kind of what I mean by not like he's doing what he said he was going to do, because he does what he wants. I just mean that like if he says he wants something and it doesn't go his way, he calls people out. He sends up flares, scare tactics, and he don't care who he loses in the midst of it. That's what I meant by that. And Democrats don't do that at all. Like, they play this like PR, you can't scare, you can't ruffle a feather, God is good, everything is love. That's how we handle issues.
I tried to get the VP to call out cinema. I tried to get her to call out mansion. I tried to get all the Democrats to do it. They just would not do it for whatever reason.
So I know the reason. And Loren, that's such, again, a great question, right? Because if we don't call people out, you can't get it done. So it's like Trump is terrible on policy, but on strategy, I get it, right? So like the Democrats say, you can't just intimidate people into voting your way. What do you mean? I just saw Trump do it. I just saw Trump do it like 12 times.
That's right.
I've seen Trump do it now time and time again. What do you mean you can't do it? No, it's not that you can't do it. It's that you don't want to do it, right? And Loren, they take that like God is good, all that attitude as a cover story. Oh, we're so nice. We're so nice that we can't call out our colleagues. That would be mean. But in reality, they're both taking the same donor money, right? Mainstream media never calls them out, and Democrats never called them out. We're calling them out. We're calling them out. You hear me saying it about Cinema Mansion? You hear me and Charlamagne talking about it, Hakeem Jeffries? Chuck Schumer talking about billionaire buddies. He's like doing talking points like, Republicans and their billionaire buddies. Hey, brother, come on, man. How many billionaire buddies do you have?
Exactly.
Right? So if you don't call them out, you're never going to get anything done. That's the one thing Trump is right about. So let's get our guy in. But that, unlike Trump, isn't just for himself, but for once, actually looks out for all of us.
I love this idea. I love what you're doing. I love what David Hodge is doing. I think it's fantastic. I tell them how to support.
All right. So first of all, rebellionpact.com. Since we're not taking corporate money, we need a lot of grassroots donors. Last time for Just Democrats, the Young Turks audience raised $2.5 million.
Wow.
This time, let's double it, right? Let's get these guys some real juice, and we're going to get them on all the shows and all the podcasts, get their voice out there. They're not afraid. They love their message. They want to tell their message, okay? So rebellionpact.com, but also volunteer, right? And also, if you want to, and I announced it yesterday, already a whole bunch of people going through the candidate process. So that's how we find folks. Look, we can't run everybody. You got to be judicious and you got to find the best people. So I don't want to give people false hope. You got to come correct and you got to be great, right? But if you're doing that and you're an honest person, rebellionpact.com, we're going to at least consider you, whereas the Democratic Party wouldn't. Then the other way is just keep up with Young Turks. Like we're on YouTube, 6 o'clock every night, 6 to 8 o'clock, me and Anna, right? And so we're going to give news about all the updates and stuff. And then we're going to, I'm sure, have amazing people will join our advisory board to help us win, like maybe Charlamagne.
No, I would do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Okay. I would love that. Right.
Absolutely.
And we got some other folks that are interested in joining the advisory board that I think would be amazing. Mm-hmm. Let's get a wide variety, right? Everyone, Charlamagne, from you to like, I want Harvard law professor Larry Lessig. He's a godfather of money in politics, get money out of politics. Mm-hmm. And so let's get smart, passionate people to actually overcome the system that we have here. And so look, if you give up, they win. Absolutely. If you stay on your couch, they win. But if you get up and try, look, protests, I love it. It needs a step 2. And this is step 2, right? Step 2 is we actually go win and take back Congress. Step 3 is we go take over the Democratic Party and win the country over and actually pass the bills, right? But step 1's great. Get in the game somehow, right?
Yeah, make some noise.
Make some noise. Volunteer for Rebellion PAC. Go to protests. Or you heard somebody's got a better idea. Do that idea. But get in the game. Because the minute you sit down and lose hope is the minute they win.
Tell them where to find you, man.
So, Young Turks on YouTube, 6 to 8 o'clock. You could, of course, find it on tyt.com as well, and rebellionpac.com to help this movement, rebellionpac.com.
And your Instagrams and all of that.
So, at Cenk Uygur and at the Young Turks, and you'll be able to find us on all the platforms.
My man, Cenk, thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank you, Charlamagne. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren.
Of course.
Great questions. Really appreciated it.
Thanks for
It's
coming.
The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Lauren becoming a straight fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, what's the latest?
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So Diddy, y'all know trial's coming up.
Yep.
So his lawyers are laying out what kind of his big defense will be. So Diddy recently rejected a plea deal, and when he rejected the plea deal, they're arguing that he's a swinger, but he's not a criminal. Now, okay.
So, what was the plea deal? Did we know what the plea deal was?
I'm gonna get into it. Jess, what?
Why you let Jess laugh? You waiting for you because you knew Jess was gonna laugh. Jess, she set you up on this one.
Okay, so Diddy rejected a plea deal that the federal prosecutors offered him, and now because of this, they're positioning him as a swinger, as I mentioned, right? So in court on Friday, there was a hearing that happened, and it was about a bunch of different topics. So according to Rolling Stone, they said the prosecutor said that they did offer him a plea deal, but he flatly denied it. He didn't want anything to do with it. There was no details of the plea deal that came out, Envy, but it is believed that Diddy was offered one, and people do believe that Rolling Stone is not lying about this. This is true. But the reason why people was there's no way that this is true, because everybody feels like if he's pushing for court, right? I was told he really wants to go to court now. He didn't want anything to delay. He's actually happy that 2-month hold didn't happen. Why wouldn't he just take a plea deal, get it all over with, and figure out how to, get home off of the plea deal?
He's not going on plea deal. He got plead guilty to something.
But you can, depending on what
Which
the plea
opens
deal
him up
was.
civilly.
And
He's not gonna plead.
We don't know yet, but I will. I'm trying to figure that out. Depending on what the plea deal was, though, it could have been something that Young Thug took a plea deal too and was able to come home.
And you said it opens them up civilly. Diddy open, bro? Them civil cases is open. What you talking about? He already getting sued for hundreds of millions of dollars. You mean opens them up?
But if
civilly?
he pleads guilty, depending on what the deal is, it's almost like if you plead guilty for criminal, it's way easier for civil form. That's how.
That's not true. O.J. Simpson got found not guilty and still lost in the civil case. That's
right,
not true.
But we're saying if he pleads guilty, depending on what the deal is, and he says yes and pleads guilty, they can use it in the civil case. OJ was found not guilty. Totally two different things.
That's not true, because a lot of the if you notice,
civilly though.
and if you notice, a lot of Diddy's civil cases are getting dismissed because they're not strong. So just because a criminal case could be way stronger than a civil case could, so no.
Well, in this, whatever that plea deal was, in the conversations they were having in court on Friday, Diddy's team is arguing that he might have lived a swinger lifestyle, but he's never done anything inappropriate or criminal, and that was coming from the head of his legal team, Mark Agnifilio. Now, he said that in the world that Diddy lived in as his mogul, this entertainment mogul, being a swinger was common. So basically, Diddy is being prosecuted, according to his team, for something that is a common lifestyle, and that's what they're going to lean into heavily when he goes to court. which may provide some issues only because, you know, there's a conversation around like people saying that they were drugged against their will, you know, forcible things that happened to them. So depending on who, and we still don't know, depending on what their evidence is and who they're going to have taken a stand, that can completely flip, especially because we know Cassie's going to be taking a stand, right? And if this swinger lifestyle, which she did engage in at some points, but at some point it turned the other way, she can testify something completely different. Like, no, it goes beyond that. So they're taking a gamble at even putting it out there this early, but you got to kind of lay the foundation. So.
Y'all may have answered this. You may have answered this question before, but the fact that she settled with him, right? Like, I didn't know that was possible. You can settle with somebody, you can get paid, and like you settle with them, and then they can still turn around and be a witness.
Well, I didn't know that either.
It's because she was subpoenaed by a federal court. So, like, you can have a settlement, but if a federal court is saying criminally,
federal court don't care about the settlement.
Yeah, like these things happen. Like, it's not
this
like
is legal.
Yeah, she was subpoenaed, so she kind of didn't really have a choice but to. You know what I mean? Like,
because I just didn't. I didn't know that worked like that. But okay.
And then once you're subpoenaed, she has to tell the truth, and if she doesn't, she could get in trouble.
Yeah. So, they talked about a bunch of different stuff. But that's going to be his defense. So we'll see how that works out for him. Now, in other news, Ryan Coogler. So Ryan Coogler, Sinners is still, you know what I mean?
Sinning.
The numbers are still going crazy.
Made a crazy amount of money.
So it earns $45 million in the second weekend of the release, with ticket sales only falling 6% from the first weekend. It's $48 million opening, which happened that first weekend. So it's still making numbers. But Ryan Coogler has been doing interviews in a bunch of different ways, like talking about the creative and the photo and the film and how it was shot. We talked about that in here. But he sat down with a platform and had a conversation about a ton of different things. But they brought up his deal, and you could tell he was kind of like over the conversation. Let's take a listen.
I'm not the first filmmaker to get any of these deals. You know, and Warner Brothers is not the first studio to provide these deals to a filmmaker. You know, so like I think that a lot has been made of my deal in particular. I'm not totally sure why. You know, I have my guesses. You know, but I've been in the industry long enough to know what kind of deals are possible, and nothing about this deal is a new thing.
Why does he sound like he's defending it, though?
Ryan, he's not. Let me tell you what Ryan is doing. Ryan is throwing an alley-oop. You know why people are making a big deal about this, Ryan? Because you're black.
Right.
Okay? And you're black. You're a black man from Oakland who does not code switch in no way, shape, or form. You enter the rooms black, you talk black, you move black. That's why they're making a big deal of it, because they can't believe a nigga got that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Was the interviewer asking like in a negative way, or because
the interview she wasn't asking a negative way. He was sitting down with Democracy Now!, but she did spend a lot of time breaking down like, this is what they did, and this is why it's monumental, and this, and he's like, he basically was on some like, she was white. He's basically on some type of time like, okay, but like that's what happens. This is business, and I handled my business. So what are we talking about?
And you trying to figure it out. She was trying to figure out how it happened.
She just they're making it seem like it's like I mean, it is monumentous and it's amazing to see, but they're making it seem like
monumentous,
yes. And they're making it seem like he changed the trajectory of like how studios are going to receive money and basically taking money out of their pockets, and like he's changing something when he's like, I didn't.
They can't believe they gave a black man that kind of deal. You mean in 25 years, ownership of this movie is going to go back to this black man? You mean to tell me that this black man has first gross rights? And this movie has made $161 million worldwide. So they in the black now.
And it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Exactly. The budget was $90 million for the film, and the initial projections when people were hating, they thought it was only going to make $35 million.
So $90 million for the production budget. You probably put another 30, 40 in marketing and promotions, and they're at 160. They way out of the red.
That's
at
right.
this point.
100%.
Black on black.
Why you was mad at Monumentous?
Because he never heard of it before.
No, I never heard of that word before.
You didn't hear that word when you received your honorary degree?
No, I've heard monumental, but I've never heard monumentous.
Yeah, you can. It's OUS at the end.
Great importance of
significance.
They don't
teach those words in remedial classes. Yeah.
Jess,
What?
You should relax.
Yes, I do.
And by the way, Loren, don't be in here acting like you don't be making up words.
I do
making
be
words all
making up
exactly.
words, but that word is so regular.
No,
Like I
baby,
feel like
you made up
I ain't never
Jaguar.
heard that word.
Jaguar. I have no idea.
No, what else word did I make up? Because I do be just saying stuff.
You do.
Yes, you do.
But I say it with so much conviction that like
Yes, we just
that's
let
how
you
they
go
do
in.
at church. So
My goodness. All right. Well, that is the latest with Loren. Thank you, Loren.
And the fact that Envy Googled it, you didn't know it was a goddamn word either.
Right. Yeah, I was like, why she ain't
You
say
know
monumental?
monumentous was a word?
No.
She said it was so much poise, though. I knew it was real.
It's
Because if
monumentous.
Lauren don't know a word, she will be like, I don't know it.
I thought
Like,
she was
she'll
gonna be like,
act
it's,
like she don't know
it's
it.
a monumental deal. She was like, monumentous. I was like,
Hold on. Monumentous. I just looked it up.
Yes.
Monumentous is not a recognized word in standard English dictionaries, despite its use online.
It says-
it's often used as a combination of monumental and momentous, both of which are valid words with similar meanings. So it's not actually a word.
well, my definition says, although not in all dictionaries, it is a word that, yes, it uses the meaning of monumental. I learned the dang word in school, y'all.
Yeah, I don't think it's a word. It ain't
It's
no real
not.
word.
It's
It's
right
not
here.
no damn real
Well,
word.
she did learn it in Delaware.
Ain't no real word.
That's a different
Hold on.
type of...
I'm going to send this to the group chat. It literally says, apparently monumentous isn't a real word. Microsoft Word doesn't recognize it. And dictionaries are saying it's a made-up word combining monumental and momentous.
Yes, that's not a word. You just made that up. That's Delaware. Delaware education, ladies and gentlemen.
So I wonder
All
if
right.
you can make up a word and not get in trouble for it, like f***ity.
You know what?
Because that's not a word. It's not a word. So I can't get in trouble. That's not a word.
All right, man. People's Choice mixes up next.
Oh, my God.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, Charlamagne, you were out in Atlanta this weekend?
Man, salute to everybody who pulled up to the 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival in Atlanta. Such a beautiful event. You know, I just feel like we're in a time where, you know, we got to create community. We got to create safe spaces for each other. And that's what the Black Effect Podcast Festival be feeling like. Just a great safe space. Salute to all the people who hit that stage. The Trap Nerds podcast, Good Moms, Bad Choices. They had Dreka Gates as one of their guests. Trap Nerds had Clayton English as their guest as well. Carrie Champion with the Naked podcast. She had Amon Shumpert as a guest. Cam Newton with Funky Fridays. He had Portia Williams as a guest. Tank and Jay Valentine with the R&B Money podcast. They had Jacquees as a guest, and the mighty Sarah Jakes Roberts. She had Toya Carter as her guest, man. So salute to everybody who hit that podcast stage, and we'll see you next year in Atlanta for the 4th annual Black Effect Podcast Festival.
Period.
All right.
And y'all.
And salute to Mandy and Weezy too for hosting the event. Decisions. They did a fantastic job as well. Debbie Brown was there on the panel. My man Jay Barnett.
Debbie.
Yeah, it was an incredible event, man. Thank you to everybody who pulled up.
And Lauren was on a panel too. I see my girl.
Lauren
She's down
hosted
there.
a panel. Lauren hosted a panel as well. Salute to Lauren. Lauren was sitting in the crowd, and I didn't even see Lauren until I was on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, why the hell is Lauren sitting in the crowd? And she was surrounded by studs. So I thought she was being
she
held
was not.
hostage. I'm saying, one of them studs had a strap on to her waist. They had it to her hip,
goodness.
like, don't move. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Relax, no,
It was
don't do
crazy.
that. She was overwhelmed by the studs.
Yeah, she was surrounded by studs. I was like, what's going on?
She ain't know how to break away.
My goodness.
All
All
she
right.
gotta do is say my is trash, and they be like, "Oh no, get the hell on." That's all she gotta do. That's how you get away from a stud. Tell them you is trash. Oh, and I want to give a special shout out to the event, Sounds of Spotlight. I went to an event this weekend on Saturday, hosted by my daughter's godfather, Menelik. He is my Ethiopian brother, and he does these events every now and then. And I'm wearing merch from the event, and it was like a tribute to Lauryn Hill. It was like a diary of Lauryn Hill. We went from her life behind the music to like everything from when she started to where she is now. And it was just like a deep experience. I loved it. It was very intimate, but he has these events and it allows you to be vulnerable and, you know, kind of like find your tribe type thing, you know. He had non-alcoholic beverages there, complimentary wine, and it's just dope. It gives people who necessarily don't feel heard. It gives them a voice and, allow them to share their experiences as it relates to Lauryn Hill's life and what she was going through behind the camera and everything like that. And it also taught me a lot. I did not know that Lauryn Hill was, you know what I'm saying? She was dealing with Wyclef, right? And then I didn't know that he had got married while they was dealing with each other. Crazy.
This is one of the reasons I love Jess. Y'all think Jess be on the internet all day. Jess really be in her own world. There's no way you should have known all of this.
I know, and I call myself a fan. I literally felt like a stranger to her at the end of the event. I was like, what? Whole time he got married. And then look, I would be telling y'all something y'all already know. I know, I'm sorry. I had no idea. And I didn't know that she got booed at Apollo. Excuse me, that was Lauryn Hill. And I didn't know that Whitney Houston loved her. That was her girl. She did not,
Jersey girls. They both Jersey girls.
I know they both from Jersey, but oh my God. So now I get the whole, at the award ceremony, I forgot what award that was when Whitney announced that it was Lauryn Hill who received the award. And she was
the Grammys.
That was lit. I appreciate it. I did not know.
And she did get booed at the Apollo, and I hate that she got booed at the Apollo because people always use that for people who really can't sing.
Yeah.
And people that really can't sing and be getting booed, they be like, well, always remember Lauryn Hill got booed at the Apollo. But you actually suck.
Yes, but you know what? She kept singing, and she didn't allow that to stop her. She was singing like they wasn't born. So shout out to me for learning some stuff.
All right, it's time for the positive note. Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do, and it's simple. We were talking about it during Donkey of the Day, but I just want to stress to people: you need to learn that your actions do affect other people. People need to learn that their actions do affect other people. So be careful what you say and do. It's not always just about you.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?